people of Earth. This is Mr. Teacher, and today we're going to go up in the air, hot air balloon ride. We're going to ask a couple questions on one of the pilots, one of the captains of the team, before we go up as they're setting up the balloon. I'm with Sterling, my best new friend in the whole world, one of the co-captains of the team that flies this hot air balloon, and it's not set up yet, but we're in the process. We just tested the burners on this. And how long have they been air ballooning mankind?
Actually, that started even before the Wright brothers were born and even thought about air ballooning. It goes back to the Montgolfier brothers, who were in the paper making business, and one day they were standing by the fire, and all of a sudden they noted these little pieces of paper floating up in the heat, in the smoke, and they thought, that smoke is magical. Look at that, it makes things fly. So they thought, you know, if we made a great big balloon out of paper, we could fill it with all this smoke and it would fly up in the air. So they got to messing with it, and they made a small one kind of, and sure enough it did that, and they did it some more and more, and it kind of, news of it kind of spread around. They decided, you know what, let's try it without humans. We'll put like a goat, a sheep, a duck in this, and we'll send them up in the air and see if they can survive it and then land. Before we put people in it, the king found out about it, and it became this big event. Sure enough, they flew them up in the air, they landed safely, all the animals survived, and that's kind of where it got its start at then. And then, of course, they found it wasn't the smoke, it was literally the heat. The heat was hotter in that balloon than the air around it, which is what gave it that lift and then caused it to fly.
Now, how is the burners powered nowadays?
The burners today, we use liquid propane on our burners.
And we're going to take it.
They have, it can be anywhere from, some will have 10-gallon tanks or 15-gallon tanks like these. Depending on the size of the balloon, you'll fly with 30 or 40 gallons of fuel usually. That's where we get for our burners up here, but we're burning actual liquid propane is what we're burning. So.
It's this,
those are your instruments. Basically, we use 3 instruments. Number one, we monitor the temperature in our balloon. We don't want to get them too hot, so the hotter it is out, then the less lift we have. But we're going to monitor the temperature in our balloon. An altimeter, so we can see how high we're flying. And then we got a barometer where we can measure our speed, and by speed we're measuring it how fast we're rising or how fast we're falling is what we're measuring as far as speed.
And it looks like you guys are pretty much hadn't changed much in the basket, because it's Rickard basket now, and it probably was a Wickard basket back in the French time.
Yeah, they've tried all sorts of things. They've tried plastics, titanium, steel. Wicker they found is light. The other nice thing about wicker is it gives a little bit. So when you land, we don't have wheels, landing gear, anything like that. So when you land, it absorbs a little bit of that when you hit the ground. You know, we try to land it nice and soft, but there's sometimes you can just go harder with other times, and that absorbs that all that way.
Is that gonna tip? Alright, come on, you climb harder than this. Go on the floor.
So what's the capacity of this particular balloon?
This balloon here, and again, a lot of that will depend on the heat, how many people will carry, but this one a lot of times you carry the pilot and maybe 4 passengers a lot of times. These are, we consider more smaller sport balloons. That's what a lot of us around here fly. My balloon that I personally have is me and 2 passengers. Jerry has one that's 1 and 3. This one usually would be 1 and 4 passengers. We call them sport balloons, and there's what we call a ride balloon, which which are the larger ones, where a lot of times you have 8, 12, 16, a lot of people in it. These are more of a sport balloon, kind of like a sport car. You can really get a lot more control over them and stuff than you would compared to a bus, compared to a sport car. Kind of the way I'd compare those. So.
Very good. Well, we'll thank you for your time, and we'll our next shots will be when we start putting the balloon together.
We always love having people come out. We can't balloon without crew people. The best way to get crew people is when we land. We don't know where we're landing. We don't fly from an airport, land at an airport. You never know where we're going to land. We always welcome people to get out there, come right up to us, learn about it, and get involved if they want to get involved. We welcome new people all the time. So.
Okay, thank you very much.
You bet. Thank you.